What's poppin', crypto fam? Welcome to podcast episode number 1168 of the Crypto News Alerts pod. Let's get it. In today's show, Bitcoin can pass $30,000 before setting a new bear market low. I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis. Also in today's show, FinCEN lists Binance amongst the top Bitcoin counterparties of Bitzlato, which was recently just shut down by the Department of Justice. I'll be breaking this down for you. Also in today's show, CoinDesk could be up for grabs as their parent company, the digital currency group Scrambles, for funds. That's right, the DCG reportedly received offers for CoinDesk exceeding $200 million in the recent weeks, and without a purchase price of just $500,000, that'd be a 40,000% return on its initial investment. Also in today's show, Bitcoin OG Max Keiser says Bitcoin can make massive moves in 2023. That's right, he reveals this in a recent interview with Stansberry Research's Daniela Cambone, quoting him here, "The direction for Bitcoin for 13 years has been up, and it'll be up for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So that's number one. That's solved. The direction is up." Also in today's show, crypto analyst who called the 2021 Bitcoin crash reveals his Bitcoin price target for this year. We're talking about the synonymous analyst, Dave the Wave, quoting him here, a technical target of $42,000 this year to take Bitcoin out of the buy zone. Send it. Let's freaking go. Also in today's show, Bitcoin to reach $161,800 per coin, according to the Fibonacci extension, Elliott Wave Theory. That's right, the Bitcoin price can reach the 1.6 Fibonacci extension, which is roughly $161,800 per BTC. And interestingly, if you multiply 100,000 by the golden ratio, you'll get $161,800. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just tuning in to today's live stream, Crypto News Alerts podcast episode number 1168. I am your host, JV. Today is January 19th, 2023. And checking out the crypto market watch, we can see all the major cryptos correcting back in the red. We got Bitcoin down 0.8% for the day, trading just above $20,800. We also have Ether down 1.5%, maintaining above $1,500. XRP, one of the few, actually in the green, up 2.5%. Trading just above 39 cents. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we can see the current crypto market cap no longer near that $1 trillion milestone as we hit it yesterday, but we're currently at 970 billion with about 55 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The current Bitcoin dominance at 41.4%, with the Ether dominance at 19.3%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, Kava leading the pack up 11%, trading at $1.03. We have FXS up 4%, trading at $9.13, followed by Aptos up almost 6%, trading at $7.69. And below that, we have a stable coin called FEUSD, followed by Engine Coin. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past week, you can see massive gains overall for the altcoin market, which is great. Mana up 60%. We got FXS up almost 60%. And yeah, just massive gains across the board. APT up 44%, CVX up 38%. And the list goes on. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, one of my favorite indicators, shows we're currently rated a 45 in fear. Now, yesterday was a 52 neutral, last week a 30, and last month a 29 in fear. So there you have it. Welcome again to everyone just tuning in to today's live show. Now let's dive right into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out some of the charts. Bitcoin may gain another 50% before seeing a mass sell-off to complete its bear market. New research predicts in its latest edition of its regular markets newsletter, the crypto circular trading firm QCP Capital delivered a grim warning to those who believe that the crypto winter is over. That's right, with Bitcoin surpassing or surprised by retaining new support levels abruptly reclaimed in its week-long bull run, so far topping out at 21,650. Despite the widespread suspicion over the choreographed move, Bitcoin has clawed back key trends and psychological price points. So for QCP, there is still plenty of fuel to send Bitcoin higher, but that still does not mean that the bear market overall is done and dusted. Updating its long-term Elliott Wave price analysis, it argued that the current upside constitutes a wave 4 for Bitcoin, essentially a bear market relief move, quoting them here, make no mistake, what we are seeing now is risk markets are characteristic of wave 4. We are sticking with our new view that this bounce since November 2022 lows is just a wave 4 correction, and we have a final wave 5 sell-off to go. Now, such a final capitulation would be no joke, as wave 5 from a previous chart from December 2022 showed both Bitcoin and Ether could potentially drop below their 2022 floor. Quoting them again here, the extension we're currently seeing so far in 2023 falls within the parameters of wave 4, even if it has broken some near-term technical levels to the top side, thereby increasing bullish momentum. Elliott Wave Theory states that 20%, 38.2%, and 50% Fibonacci retracement levels of a particular importance in wave 4. And since Bitcoin already corrected almost 20% from the recent macro lows, 2 remaining price targets are now in play. That's 27.1 and 31,850, quoting them here. Technically, until these levels are broken, wave 4 is still in play, and a final wave 5 for these markets that break the lows should not be ruled out. So without a doubt, the pain trade is lower right now. And also, Bitcoin has swapped its up-only trading behavior for some much-needed consolidation in recent days. This was helped by panic centered on the U.S. takedown of crypto exchange Bitzlato. I'll be breaking this down in greater details. And it is interesting that the Department of Justice decided to go after this Bitzlato exchange. And I have personally never heard of it until yesterday. I actually even did a Twitter poll to my audience. And I said, how many of you have heard of the Bitzlato crypto exchange before today? And I asked this yesterday, and roughly 90+% said I have never heard of it before until now. And isn't it interesting that the Department of Justice and the regulators and the SEC had freaking FTX right under their nose, a multi-million-dollar fraud, couldn't be any more obvious, especially to the regulators who were, meeting up with them behind closed doors, people like Bankman-Fried, etc. And they go after a Russian crypto exchange the bulk of people have never even heard of before, which is minuscule, meaning the volume in comparison to an FTX is not even comparison can't even compare the two. So it's almost as if I'm just going to shut up right there. It seems like the authorities want to take down Binance, and maybe because they share the first 2 letters of the exchange name with the BI. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of this, trying to figure it out in my head. Like, why are the authorities going after this little tiny exchange, which has no relevance in the greater scale of the crypto market? But here we go. United States Financial Crimes Enforcement Bureau of the Treasury Department argued that Binance is linked to the illegal cryptocurrency platform Bitzlato. As I imagine, they really want to go after Binance. And in order published on January 18th, FinCEN stated the Binance crypto exchange was among the top 3 receiving counterparties of Bitzlato in terms of Bitcoin transactions. According to the authority, Binance was amongst the biggest counterparties that received Bitcoin from Bitzlato between May 2018 and September 2022. Other counterparties include Russia-backed darknet market Hydra and the alleged Russia-based Ponzi scheme known as FinCEN. And on the other hand, FinCEN did not mention Binance as the top 3 sending counterparties in the order, but according to the document, the biggest Bitcoin senders to Bitzlato between May of 2018 and September of 2022 were Hydra, Finland-based exchange local Bitcoins, and FinCEN. Quoting them here, approximately 2/3 of Bitzlato's top receiving and sending counterparties were associated with darknet markets or scams, FinCEN wrote. The agency noted between 2019 and 2021, Bitzlato received crypto worth $206 million from darknet markets, $224 million from scams, and $9 million from ransomware attackers. The news comes amid multiple U.S. authorities initiating major enforcement action against Bitzlato, accusing the firm of money laundering and allegedly facilitating circumvention of sanctions against Russia. And as part of the case against Bitzlato, the Federal Bureau of Investigation arrested Bitzlato founder Atanali on January 17th in Miami. But unlike major crypto exchanges like Binance or Coinbase, Bitzlato was a little-known crypto service. That's right. How many of you actually ever heard of this? Let me know in the comments. Founded in 2016, the platform reportedly had an office in Moscow, where it accepted transactions of $100,000 or more. The alleged involvement of Binance's Bitzlato case raises some concerns about the exchange's operations and potential ties with Russia. And as previously reported, Binance was amongst the exchanges that opted to continue to serve non-sanctioned Russians after European Union adopted the 8th sanctions package against the country. In addressing Cointelegraph's request for comment regarding FinCEN's reference to Binance in Bitzlato's case, a spokesperson for Binance said the following: Binance is pleased to have provided substantial assistance to international law enforcement partners in support of this investigation. This exemplifies Binance's commitment to working collaboratively with law enforcement partners worldwide. So there you have it. It's all smoke and mirrors to me, but that's just my 2 cents. Let me know how you feel this will likely play out. And do you think the Department of Justice and the SEC will finally start to go after the real big frauds, which are right in front of our face, instead of going after exchanges in Russia? I mean, why not solve the problems in your own backyard? There's a lot of fraud obviously occurring within the United States. Obviously, FTX is a prime example. So it's interesting, to say the least, that they've been investigating this for over a year, but literally did nothing to prevent the FTX collapse from happening. And just makes you really wonder at the end of the day. But nonetheless, now let's discuss our next story of the day, and that is CoinDesk, which is a company owned by DCG, the digital currency group, which may be filing for bankruptcy. We don't know. Crypto media outlet CoinDesk is reportedly considering a potential sale for its parent company, Digital Currency Group, looking to strengthen its balance sheet. According to the Wall Street Journal, CoinDesk sought to help the investment bankers from the financial advisory from Lazard, who are helping the firm weigh options, including a full or partial sale. Quoting them here, or this is Charles Hoskinson, the Cardano founder. I just realized that CoinDesk is for sale. Now, DCG had purportedly received multiple offers exceeding $200 million from media firms over the last few months, which would result in a phenomenal return on investing, given that DCG supposedly acquired the company for just $500,000 in 2016. Now, Barry Silbert's DCG appears to be in a serious financial strife as of recent, and announced to shareholders on January 17th it would be halting dividends in an effort to strengthen its balance sheet to preserve liquidity. Now, on January 18th, Bloomberg reported another DCG subsidiary, crypto lending firm Genesis Global, the planning to file for bankruptcy after revealing it owed creditors over $3 billion, likely a leading factor contributing to DCG's financial woes. So that's right, Genesis is planning on filing bankruptcy because allegedly they can't pay this $3 billion debt. Now, CoinDesk and Genesis are among some top 200 crypto-related businesses in DCG's venture capital portfolio. According to its website, other companies that DCG owns includes asset management firm Grayscale Investments. That's right, the GBTC, crypto exchange Luno, and advisory firm Foundry. Now, let's keep in mind that the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is the largest Bitcoin trust in the world. They attempted to convert it into a spot Bitcoin ETF, but the SEC has denied them, and now they're suing them for that. Now, some believe that CoinDesk's article in November exposing the irregularities of Alameda Research's balance sheet was the first domino that eventually led to the fall of the crypto exchange FTX and the liquidity issues now being faced by Genesis and its parent company, DCG, and the wider crypto market. Now, Cointelegraph reached out to CoinDesk for confirmation that a potential sale was being considered, but was yet to receive an answer at the time of publishing. So there you have it. Do you think CoinDesk is likely to be sold? And hey, for considering they only purchased it in 2016 for $500,000, and they could potentially see a 40,000% return on investment, not too shabby. Maybe some of you guys should start your own crypto publication, such as a CoinDesk. Could you imagine what that can grow into over the next 10 years? Just spreading some ideas and thoughts out there. But with that being shared, now for the latest from Bitcoin OG, Max Keiser, one of my favorite in the space. Shout out to Max and Stacy Herbert. Now, Bitcoin Firebrand Max says Bitcoin could ignite epic rallies even before it's having events slated in 2024. And this was towards the end of 2023 when things were extremely bearish for crypto. So keep that in mind. In a new interview with Stansberry Research, the longtime Bitcoin OG says he envisions Bitcoin's price rising for the next several decades. Let's get it. Quoting him here, the direction for Bitcoin for 13 years has been up, and it'll be up for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So that's number one. That is solved. The direction is up. Touche. And while Bitcoin's price is about 75% down from its all-time high, Keiser points out that the leading blockchain by market cap's hash rate is at record highs, signaling that Bitcoin is healthier than ever. The hash rate indicates the total computing power being allocated to the Bitcoin network, with a higher hash rate suggesting an increasingly robust network that is more secure against an attacker, quoting Max. For all those folks out there who want to put in the research and do the work, they'll see that the current price is an actual excellent entry point with unconfiscatable, uncensorable property that's portable and obviously is going to do better than any fiat money out there, and it's superior to gold, in my opinion. I look at the strength of the network. That is the number I look at. I don't look at the price so much. I look at how the network is doing and how the hash rate is doing, and if people are contributing capital to the network, and that's at an all-time highs. So for me, Bitcoin's at an all-time high today. Its price is a lagging indicator, and Keiser highlights that Bitcoin could absolutely make massive moves in 2023, noting that the price catches up as it always does, and lo and behold, he was right on the money, as Max typically is. And to watch this interview he did with Daniela Cambona, Stansberry Research, entitled "What Happened to $220,000 Bitcoin?" Max Keiser says no damage done and reveals his 2023 forecast. Check the show notes below the video in the description. And let me know your thoughts surrounding Max Keiser and his bullish price predictions. Holla at your boy in the comments right down below, which leads us to our next story of the day. The next two stories are some bullish price predictions. The first one we're going to cover is a $42,000 price prediction from crypto analyst Dave the Wave. And then we'll be following that up with a $162,000 prediction as per Elliott Wave Theory. And some of the charts I'm going to break down for you. But first, let's dive into this $42,000 prediction for this year. Crypto analyst known for calling the 2021 Bitcoin collapse is laying out his 2023 price target for the top crypto asset. The synonymous trader Dave the Wave tells his 133,000 Twitter followers his target for the King Crypto this year is above $40,000, quoting him here alongside this chart, a technical target of $42,000 this year to take Bitcoin out of the buy zone. Bring it. Now, with Bitcoin trading at roughly 21,000 at the time of this recording, the top ranked crypto asset by market cap is down 1.8% in the past 24 hours, but up more than 19% in the past week. Bitcoin remains nearly 70% down from its all-time high of more than 69,000, which we hit back in November of 2021. So Dave the Wave questions whether the Bitcoin boom and bust cycles will become increasingly irregular as the Bitcoin market matures, citing an analysis he wrote 2 years ago, quoting Dave the Wave here. On the chart, the cycle seems to be breaking up, just as giant ice sheets would in warmer waters, nor should this surprise us in the face of a general principle where a maturing market and increasing liquidity are understood and to lead to reducing volatility. The single major volatile spike and correction may be broken up into a series of more minor volatile spikes and corrections, and so is that the increased liquidity of a maturing and very speculative market suggests a revisiting of what has to be the current orthodoxy of cycles. And the analyst also says that Bitcoin is witnessing lesser minor corrections and more real corrections, quoting him here, lesser nominal corrections and greater real corrections, just as it should be with Bitcoin on a way to price discovery. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Dave the Wave's bullish forecast of a $42,000 Bitcoin price later this year. Holla at your boy. And with that being shared, that now leads us to our final story of the day, the moment you have all been waiting for. Let's break down this $162,000 Bitcoin price prediction, shall we? Bitcoin price struggling to maintain above 20,000 per coin, a level that few expected the top crypto to trade at, even again after it once passed the key resistance the first time. And the new prediction, the next target for the King Crypto, might also reach a level that very few at this point will consider or even expect. However, ages-old mathematics and the Elliott Wave Theory could suggest the next cycle may possibly peak a lot sooner than many would believe, and at a price of $161,800 per BTC. Send it. Let's get it. Now, crypto traders commonly use the Fibonacci retracements and extensions to make decisions about when and where to buy or sell. It isn't known why prices tend to gravitate toward these levels, but the ratios are found all throughout the natural world. For example, Venus orbits the sun in 224.6 days, while Earth at 365.2 days. This creates a ratio of 8 over 13, both Fibonacci numbers, which is roughly 0.618. This is precisely why the golden ratio is also referred to as the divine proportion. It's almost magical. Alchemy in the flesh, right? Now, Fibonacci ratios are derived from the Fibonacci sequence, a series of numbers where the next number in the sequence is the sum of the previous two numbers. The sequence reads 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on. Now, although the sequence is named after the famous Italian mathematician who popularized it, it dates back to 2000 BC Indian mathematics. Wow, talk about a long time ago. And simply put, this is about as ancient as math gets. Bitcoin reached the 1.618 Fibonacci extension several times during the cycle. Now, examining the market cycles with this Elliott Wave Theory, we have Ralph Nelson Elliott, who developed the Elliott Wave Theory in the 1930s. Yet the study could be the key to figuring out what's going on with BTC. Elliott Wave Theory believes that the market cycles move in 5 primary waves, with wave 1, 3, and 5 moving with the trend, and waves 2 and 4 moving against it as its corrective phases. Now, relationships with Fibonacci are everywhere in Elliott Wave Theory. Impulse waves up tend to fizzle out at Fibonacci extensions, while corrections terminate at Fibonacci retracement levels and extensions. A 5-wave motion was wave completes once the cycle in 5 individual waves with 3 impulses and 2 corrections. A complete Elliott wave sequence consists of 21 movements, and there are a total of 21 corrective patterns. Each of the numbers are Fibonacci numbers. Now, why Bitcoin can reach 161,800 per coin? Let's break it down. With all the background out of the way, we can focus on the Bitcoin price action. As a speculative asset, it's especially susceptible to emotion-driven price movements, making it especially responsive to Fibonacci ratios as well as Elliott Wave Theory. So using the BTC CME futures chart, it is possible to count out a Bitcoin Elliott motive wave still in progress. If the wave count is accurate, it's possible to project a possible end to the motive wave and bullish cycle using a Fibonacci extension target. So here we go. The Bitcoin price could reach the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, which is roughly $161,800 per Bitcoin. And interestingly, if you multiply $100,000 by the golden ratio, you'll get $161,800. Now, Bitcoin touched the golden ratio target at the 2021 peak when the Fibonacci extensions are drawn from the very open of the Bitcoin CME chart to the 2018 bear market bottom. Now, the target is contingent on Bitcoin price having ended its wave 4 expanded flat correction and started its wave 5 impulse. And while wave 5 tends to match wave 1 in magnitude and strength, they can also mimic wave 3, which tends to be the longest and the strongest. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Elliott Wave Theory and this Fibonacci projection of $161,800 Bitcoin price. And to watch this video, check the show notes below the video in the description. Now, in the video, Tony the Bull walks step by step through each of the waves in Bitcoin and uses textbook Elliott Wave examples to explain how the price action could develop. Very insightful. And in the exclusive in-depth analysis, each wave terminates at a key Fibonacci level dating back to the beginning of the Bitcoin bear market. Using a channel-in technique to project the next cycle peak, it is possible that the bull target is reached within the next 6 months to a year. I'm going to stop right there. Could you imagine the Bitcoin price going on a parabolic rally to 162,000, not in 2025, not the year after the halving, but the year before the halving, this year in 2023? That's what we're talking about right now. Let me know if you feel this is a probability and a potential scenario that could play out, and would you love to see that happen? Start stacking them sats if you do, and holla at your boy. And now let's dive into some live Q&A, which is my favorite segment of the live show. Welcome to everyone tuning in live. I appreciate each and every one of your support. Renee, it's good to see you, fam. Digital Dankness, always a pleasure. Jeff, good morning. Nate, good to see you. Mikey likes it. Pezza, SpongeBob SquarePants, Ellen in the building. I appreciate the super chat contribution coming from Ed Edwards. I appreciate the $5, fam. You are the man. I'm going to actually scroll up. I see we have lots and lots of chat, which is a beautiful thing. Digital Dankness says 16,000 was Kathy Wood's bottom of the market prediction. 50,000 was ChatGPT, and this one is probably based off stock to flow. Maybe if you watch the show, you will understand why they make these predictions. And he's responding to Polar Bear Predator, who wrote earlier on. 16,000 today, 160,000 tomorrow. You are nothing but clickbait. And Dankness reminds him, hey, the numbers he uses on his thumbnails are based on the articles he is reading. So it is, in fact, someone else's prediction. He is only reporting what people think it is going to be. And you make a great point. These predictions I share every day on my show, I don't pull them out of my own butt. They're predictions from some of the top analysts out there, some of the top charts. We cover them all. I cover the bearish scenarios. I cover the bullish scenarios. I cover everything in between. Today we covered multiple different types of price predictions. You feel me? So it is what it is. And I appreciate your response, Dankness, to Polar Bear Predator. And I think his username says it all. Polar Bear Predator. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Big James Jones in the building. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome, family. Always a pleasure. He says, waiting for some of this $100,000 Bitcoin. Gronzi, welcome. Good to see you as well. Jeff, welcome. Digital says, don't hold your breath. It's probably not till 2025, but it'll get there soon enough. Only a matter of time. Be patient. Sage advice. Jeff says, hoping to hear move on Gemini Genesis Saga. When will they file for bankruptcy? It seems it's already in the works, so it's happening. It's inevitable. They owe over $3 billion in debt. It looks like they can't pay, and they're selling some of their biggest assets, such as CoinDesk. Let's see what that sells for, and let's see how this all plays out. It'll be interesting, to say the least. So you're saying it's Swan's fault? Living the dream. Love to hear that. Still bullish, says selling with twins. Love to hear that too. Jeff says, will Bitcoin return to 21,500 today? Jeff is asking selling with twins, and selling responded 22,500 is incoming. Right now, obviously, at the time of this recording, we're sitting just above 20,900, and the market is currently correction. We fizzled out. There wasn't enough volume above 21,500 to sustain the rally, and now there's mixed reactions across crypto Twitter and analysts alike. Some are saying that this could be a massive bull flag, and others are basically saying it could be a bear trap or a bull trap. I mean, anything is possible at this point. We could potentially break back down under $20,000. That's a potential scenario in the cards. If that was to play out, would you take advantage of it and buy Bitcoin sub 20,000? How many of you are stacking sats now? How many of you are dollar cost averaging? How many of you are expecting this bull run to take place this year? Potentially hitting 42,000, as I shared from Dave the Wave, or even potentially hitting 160,000 as per Elliott Wave Theory. Holla at your boy. I got your back, JV. I hope the explanation was sufficient. Absolutely was, Dankness. I appreciate you for that, man. Much love. Even poked at the bear to watch the show. Pun intended. I love it. You guys are awesome. You're boosting your ranks. Yeah, I appreciate that. Got some chess, a lot of chess games in action. I love playing. I played right before today's live show. Yeah, man. JV, do you think Genesis will file for bankruptcy? I'll answer that again. Yes, I believe that they're in the process of doing so, more than likely, unless they could miraculously raise $3 billion to pay off some of their debts as the contagion continues. You can have, be, or do anything you want. Absolutely. Facts. You can do anything you set your mind to, fam. Pezza says good morning, good evening, and everything in between. Been a while. Enough time for Bitcoin to start doing something. That's right. Start poking the bear. Watch Bitcoin do what it do. Coinfather says head into Alaska unexpectedly if my Crypto News Alerts friends in Anchorage want to meet up. That's what's up. So if anyone is in Alaska and wants to meet up with Coinfather, an OG here from the show, be sure to hit him up. Reach out to him. J-Dub the Laker. Good morning, JV and Crypto News Alerts fam. The GOAT. As ever. That's what's up. Someone didn't like yet. That's right. A reminder, if you haven't smashed the like, it's the greatest thing you can do to help support the channel. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Also helps out tremendously to hit the bell notification, turn on all notifications so you don't miss out when I go live, which is each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So please don't miss out. Any thoughts on altcoins? Absolutely. I have thoughts on altcoins. Let's talk about it. Obviously, there's 10,000 other cryptos besides Bitcoin, all considered altcoins. The top altcoins being Ethereum, by market cap at least. I think altcoins are obviously having a nice, well-deserved pump after many of them have crashed by over 90%. We saw many of them climb back 30 to 50% this past week, which was long overdue. It's it depends upon your risk analysis, and everyone's risk analysis is going to be different, as we're all different as individuals. Some people, they're 100% alts. They don't believe in Bitcoin. They think they missed the boat. And it's like, hey, Bitcoin is $20,000. I can't afford that. I'm just going to go all in on alts. And I see so many crypto investors do this, and they make a big mistake. It all depends upon the part of the cycle that you enter the market. Some people get in with alts, and within 60, 90 days, they feel like they're rich because their alts have gone up 50% or 100%. It's very possible. It can go 2, 3, 4, 5x altcoins if you get in at the right time. However, what if you get in at the top with alts? And it doesn't matter how great your altcoin is. It could be a top alt like an Ethereum, a Cardano, an XRP, etc. But what happens if the price depreciates another 90% because Bitcoin crashes? What happens when Bitcoin crashes? Virtually every single altcoin in the market crashes greater than the Bitcoin crash. You know what I mean? So what's your risk analysis for yourself? I don't like gambling. I don't like casinos. Sometimes I can have fun walking into a casino, playing some blackjack, doing my thing. But overall, I like the sure thing. So I'm a stacker and hodler of Bitcoin. Do I have altcoins? I do. I can't say that I don't. But do I believe in them the same way I believe in Bitcoin? Absolutely not. For me, every altcoin is a gamble. And if I'm willing to gamble, I got to be willing to take the risk. Now, obviously, the risk reward, you got to outweigh as well, as the reward for taking the risk is going to be greater than the fastest horse in the race, which I would consider Bitcoin, because you could potentially get larger and faster gains with the altcoins, but you also more risk, you can lose everything. So I only personally invest into an altcoin what I can afford to lose. That's my script, and I'm sticking to it. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. CoinFather says, Digit, most def, I am from Anchorage. Got help from my bro that has going through a hard time. Man, it must be crazy cold in Anchorage right now, huh? Yeah, that's nice. Got away for a bit. Come back here. Same cool fam, says Pezza. Did it. Right on. I'm going to scroll down. Welcome, OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg. Always a pleasure to see you, fam. It's good to see you as well, Ellen. Looks like a lot of ish coins are up. That's right. Ish coins have been pumping, especially this week. Ellen says you have to be choosy with your alts. Agreed, 100%. Pezza says, JB looking well relaxed and comfortable with live nice already for the good times. Absolutely, you got it. And again, selling with twins, I appreciate the super chat contribution of 33 ZAR of your local currency there in South Africa. Much, much respect. Bitzlato, is that gelato? No, unfortunately, gelato is superior to Bitzlato because gelato is Italian ice cream, and nothing is superior to Italian ice cream unless it's Bitcoin, because you can buy more gelato with, with your funds. You can buy more ice cream. Ellen says, JV, the SEC and Department of Justice move was to cover what they are going to let SBF go. It does seem that way. It's like a smoke screen. It's like a distraction from, hey, don't look here at SBF and FTX. Look here, the Russians. It's the Russians. Bunch of BS. Morning, everyone. Bitcoin wishes and caviar dreams. I hate caviar. I don't care how rich I get. I'm never going to enjoy eating caviar, just saying. But anyways, Ellen, they're prosecuting a little tiny company, and CZ said, watch out for the liars. He nailed it. He called it 100%, and exactly what's going down right now. And they're connecting Bitzlato with Binance, which makes no sense, in my opinion. CoinFather says, Ellen, true, wait for the sell-off. My saying is don't buy when there is blood on the street. Buy when it's being cleaned up. Sage advice. CoinFather says, in a sense, wait for confirmation. That's right. Ellen says, never heard of it. If it's cooked up, charge, even though Russia was cooked up. Yep, smoke and mirrors. Nailed it. Mikey says, CoinFather agreed, and that's what I currently believe. So true, CoinDad. Welcome, CoinDad. Mikey likes it. CoinDaddy. SWT, I have compared to trading as a blood sport. Interesting, CoinFather. Johnny Midas, good morning, friends, as always. Pezza, who is your CoinDaddy, and what does he do? And again, Ed Edwards, I appreciate your super chat contribution. You're too kind. Did you hear the clowns at Davos? Jamie Dimon, he is such a clown, bad-mouthing crypto. Meanwhile, he is buying crypto. Yeah, he's questioning the validity of the 21 million Bitcoin supply. He's like, how do we know once we hit 21 million, you don't get a big picture of Satoshi laughing at you? Or it's pure ignorance. But again, that's Jamie Dimon. I mean, that's It doesn't need an explanation. Jamie Dimon's just being Jamie Dimon. Nothing has changed. Superior to gold. Absolutely. And I just dropped a video, a throwback of a classic Keiser of him calling Peter Schiff an imbecile and ultimately comparing Bitcoin to gold and fiat and why Bitcoin is absolutely superior to fiat and gold as forms of money. Nate says some predict a big spike to over 100,000 in 2023. That's right. Many do. Though possible, of course, I think it is more likely Bitcoin will see at least a settle in 35 to 45 range this year. I mean, we have Credible Crypto is predicting 100 to 150,000 this year. Tim Draper is predicting 250,000 before the second half of this year. Max Keiser is very bullish naturally. We got Samson Mao, very bullish. There's a lot of other analysts out there as well. Nate says, and a new all-time high to over 100,000 in 2024. Send it. Then the big run in 2025. I cannot wait. If the markets vaporize, you'll see Bitcoin go sky high. That's right, Ellen. Ed says, I guess with what ifs, it's wise to position yourself to be in the best of both worlds. Buy as much Bitcoin as you can and sell into this news and buy back. It's about the best I can figure. That's right. Nate says, and alchemy is the creation of gold. In this case, Bitcoin gold. Ellen says, Lynn Alden. Whoa, lost that there. Let me scroll back up to where I was at. Yeah, smash that like. I appreciate it, fam. Much, 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 much love. Smash it up. Where was I? Wow, we got so much in the chat. I can't even find where I was at. I love it. I'm going to read through all of these comments too. Don't worry. Buy as much Bitcoin as you can. That's right. Lynn Alden said that Bitcoin is going on a huge run, but not the alts. That's right, because if Bitcoin does a run up, typically the alts consolidate and the Bitcoin dominance climbs. And then when Bitcoin finally settles down and consolidates, that's when the alts catch up, like we recently witnessed. So I would say that's typically accurate. Ellen says BitBud was sanctioned after he blocked several longtime members of the family. Nate says, I'm JV. We're all JV. Just kidding, George. Shout out to Cryptos R Us, right? Pezza says, don't worry, JV. Peeps, just jealous. That's right. Nate says, and thank goodness you don't pull them out of your own butt, JV. That's an image I'd like to forget. Exactly. SpongeBob, JV is clickbait, just like I am jailbait. Thank you, SquarePants. Coinfather says, tough cookie, I will buy a little more than I usual. My pullback in case 12,000 low doesn't play out. Rudy says 114 is in the chat and only 42 likes. Yo, fam, smash that like for JV. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you. Jim Junkie says health is your wealth. Crypto is your freedom. I agree with this message. 19.5 says tough cookie. Send it. Let's take advantage of it. Stack them stats. Dragon says most alts don't live long. That's true. A lot of them go under. FTT crash, Luna crash. Isn't it insane that FTT continues to pump even after the saga of FTX? J-Dub reminds us that Bitcoin is not crypto. That's right. It's on its own vector. Mark says reality has always lagged several years behind these high price predictions. You make a great point, Mark. Coinfather says Dragon true, but I would only recommend swinging to 20. Pezza says J-Dub ain't telling no lies. Rudy says Bitcoin better than home ownership. Absolutely. The new roof, siding, plumbing, etc. I mean, the cool thing about Bitcoin, it's superior. It's basically digital real estate, as Michael Saylor would describe it. There's obviously a limited supply of real estate in Manhattan, amongst some of the highest real estate prices in the world. And you can look at Bitcoin as the digital version of real estate because it has all the advantages of real estate without the disadvantages. You know what I mean? Try selling your real estate. It's always a process. You got to find a buyer. It could take 60 to 90 days to close. Dealing with lenders and banks, it's a nightmare. With Bitcoin, you can sell and receive just like that without any third party getting in the way, without permission from the bank. You can do it any day of the week. You can do it on a holiday. There's really no comparison whatsoever. Dragon says, I'll be completely out of alts at some point because I don't trust them in the long term. That's kind of how I look at things. I'm a long-term hodler. We get into alts for the short-term gains, hoping they outpace Bitcoin so we can convert them back into Bitcoin. That's the name of the game. You trade alts to gain more BTC because BTC is the king. You know what I mean? And that's the name of the game we play. Dragon is the guy in charge of security at Skinwalker Ranch. There's an interesting story. Ellen says, I agree, JV. Coinfather says, J-Dub. There's Bitcoin and there's everything else. Ish coins. Edwards says, Where were we at here? Cover everything crypto. You got it. Dragon says I'll be completely out of alts. Good to note. Nate says Dragon, the guy. Yep. Coin JDub. There's Bitcoin and everything else. JDub using alts to buy more Bitcoin rarely works. Trust me, I've tried. Better to just stack sats. You got to have extreme patience. You may sit through a bear run with an altcoin and it may be down 99%. You feel it's over with, and then you'll probably sell out of fear so it don't go down to zero, so you at least can get some Satoshis back. It's typically what the average trader is going to do. They're absolutely going to lose. There's no question about it. Then there's a small percentage that are probably crushing it, that know what they're doing. They've probably been in trading before crypto, trading stocks, got a lot of experience. They understand the Fibonacci's. They have confidence, and it's just a totally different ball game. But you got to say your average Joe Bag of Donuts, they're a loser when it comes to trading. That's why buy a project you believe in and hodl it for the long term. You know what I mean? And best of luck. You feel me? J-Dub, all alts passed the Howey test. Enough said. Yeah, Edwards, I think bull run will be mid-year on takeoff and full on the bull run 2024, 2025. I think it'll run up to 70 and then 85 to a new all-time high. I cannot imagine. Let's all stop and ponder for a moment. What would happen? Bitcoin hitting 85,000 hypothetically this year, breaking all-time highs. You know what I mean? Where most people in the market is not expecting it. How would you take advantage of that situation? Did you stack sats now? Did you stack a lot of sats in 2022? Did you take advantage of the contagion? Did you take advantage of FTX? Did you take advantage of Scam Bankman-Fried collapsing the markets down to $15,700? Let me know. You know what I mean? Bitcoin season, alt season. When is JV season? JV season is here. Let's get it. Space Oddity says every time some article comes out with a Bitcoin price prediction, it's always from an anonymous trader that nobody has ever heard of. Oftentimes, not always. Plan B, everyone has heard of. He comes out with predictions all the time. We all know Max Keiser. We all know Michael Saylor. But yeah, I mean, the thing with predictions, it takes balls to make them. And the bigger you are as an influencer, the less likely you have balls to make a prediction because you're probably going to be proven wrong. Can I keep it real? You know, Tim Draper, big balls. He's been calling for a $250,000 Bitcoin price for years when Bitcoin was nowhere near a $250,000, right? And he stands by that prediction because he has big balls and conviction in BTC. A lot of analysts, no big balls. And of course, if you don't have a big following, you're going to have bigger balls because you don't care about the ramifications years from now when people start pointing and laughing at you and saying, this fool thought Bitcoin was going to hit $220,000 in 2022. What a freaking fool. It takes balls. It takes courage to make predictions, and many analysts don't have courage and they don't have balls. That's why I love Max Keiser and I love the Bitcoin OGs. You feel me? That's right. SpongeBob, Bitcoin is like a money tree. Don't chop it down to harvest your fruit. That's right. JV is the best. It's where I get all the Bitcoin news. Thank you, Ellen. J-Dub, since I only buy Bitcoin now, my stress level has gone way down. That's right. Stress levels with altcoins. Whew. If you have high blood pressure, I don't recommend investing into alts whatsoever. I'd hate for you to have a heart attack. You know what I mean? You'll sleep a lot better at night with Bitcoin. Trust me. That's coming from personal experience as well. So thanks for sharing that. CoinFather says, let's get that $100,000 Bitcoin crypto news alerts party 2025. That's right. As a reminder, once the Bitcoin price action surpasses 6 figures, we're going to have a big epic party here in Puerto Rico. You're all invited. So I want to know who's going to come. Definitely take advantage of it. Juggling the alts can be a headache. It absolutely is, Ellen. And if you're the type of person who overanalyzes things, as I do naturally as a chess player, it can just beat you up inside. It don't matter how many wins I have. When I experience a loss, and this goes for altcoins as well, I never forget about that loss. And I can be up hundreds of percents on other trades and XYZ. I hate losing. You know what I mean? And I think most of y'all can relate. It can drive me crazy because I just think about it too much. So if I have to 24/7 think about losing trades, I would go crazy. That's why I'm just a long-term hodler versus a day trader. I wasn't built to be a day trader. Just keeping it real. I'd rather make millions as a long-term hodler, keep stacking them sats and help change the world. And simple. I don't stress. It's fun. I'm passionate about it. And yeah, it's fun. That's the key. It's fun. Sometimes getting too heavy in alts, it's not fun. That's why my overall, portfolio is going to be dominantly Bitcoin, and it always has been since the get-go. If I'm going to do alts, it's going to be a very small fraction of my portfolio, and I consider it gambling, just like I described earlier, kind of like walking into a casino. I know I may walk out of that casino a loser, and I may not have nothing to show for it, but fortunately, I'm not going to position myself to lose everything I have in the casino, right? So, for example, if you're a Bitcoin hodler and you want to experiment as a trader, don't quit your day job, but maybe you put 1% of your portfolio in an exchange and say, hey, I'm going to attempt to trade. But if I lose this 1% of my portfolio, I'm not going to go back to McDonald's. I'm not going to be homeless. I'm not going to be poor. You know what I mean? You got to use your brain. You feel me? Yeah, research and buy. That's right. Hey, JV, long show today. Hey, we got a lot to cover. This has been a good chat. I appreciate this interactive Q&A session. That's why we're long. That's why we're 45 minutes long today. Maybe we'll keep going if you guys keep interacting. How long can you keep me here is the question. Be confident and start small, says Ellen. Sage advice. Nate says the losses that frustrate me the most are those that take time. There's only so much time. Opportunity costs those losses too. That's right. Some people may go all in, and then you're sitting on an ish coin for years, and now you're afraid to sell it because it's down 90%, and you have no more dry powder to invest into the market, and now you're stuck for years, and you miss out on an entire bull market. This is the scenario. I see it happen to ish coiners all the time. You know what I mean? Maybe they're waiting to buy the bottom at 8,000. 8,000 never comes around. Bitcoin shoots back up to 30,000 plus. Guess what? You missed out. You know what I mean? This happens to traders all the time. They're looking for the best bargain, but guess what? Many of you are not going to get the absolute best bargain on the Bitcoin dip. Many of you are not, especially when you start to scale out of the charts and you start to realize, you know what I mean? You're looking at things too limited with a limited mind instead of a wider, broader view. You know what I mean? A wider perspective. Sometimes we have to zoom out of the charts to really understand where we're at in the 4-year cyclical cycles as well. Yeah, man. Selling says JV is our preacher, man. The cult of JV. Let's all drink the Kool-Aid then, shall we? Hey, I'm just joking. This is agua. I swear, it's water. No Kool-Aid in this, baby. But anyways, fam, let's recap with the big finish, which is the recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. We discussed the latest technical analysis, as well as if Bitcoin can pass 30,000 before setting a new bear market low, which is definitely a possible scenario in the cards. We also discussed FinCEN listing Binance amongst the top Bitcoin counterparties for that for the Russian exchange Bitzlato. They just recently shut down the Department of Justice. Also in today's show, we discussed CoinDesk could be up for grabs as the parent company of DCG Scrambles for funds. We also discussed Bitcoin OG Max Keiser says Bitcoin can make massive moves in 2023, including a new all-time high. We also discussed crypto analyst Dave the Wave predicting a potential $42,000 Bitcoin price target for this year. And we also discussed a potential $161,800 Bitcoin price action according to the Fibonacci extension, Elliott Wave Theory for this year in the Bitcoin market. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below, and I look